the human hand is made up of 27 individual bones, carpal bones, metacarpal bones, finger bones, all connected by joints and ligaments. So 1/4 of our body's bones are found in our hands. The radial nerve carries sensations from the skin on the back of the hand and thumb directly to the brain. And there are 17,000 touch receptors and free nerve endings in your palm. They pick up sensations of pressure, movement, heat, and vibration. And the skin on your fingertips is particularly sensitive to touch. So what happens when the main focus of your touch in any given day is a phone screen, a keyboard, a mouse, a Chromebook, a smartboard? And I want to use what I've said about touch to reflect on the fact that we are increasingly being herded deeper and deeper into this idea of virtual contact, virtual connection. And it's really rife on social media and other powerful digital platforms. And yet as a society, we're getting lonelier. You know, what happens to all of that 17,000 nerve receptors that are supposed to be stroking, touching, you know, feeling, pressing, and this process kind of sweeping us off the streets and out of the marketplace and away now from each other's hearths. Nobody's allowed to come in my house anymore and sit at my fire, out of each other's arms. It started a long time ago, but it seems to be reaching a critical point. And I'm not just talking here about the virus. You know, I know that there are extraordinary circumstances there, but I think our global dissociation from the rest of existence is happening because we forgot about touch. And we evolved because we touched. We evolved because we shared each other's babies, each other's blood, each other's fire, each other's meat. And then, you know, we came to share each other's dreams and imaginations and songs and stories. We learned shared mind. You know, it didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It happened because we touched and we risked touch. You know, I think about those women beside me at Mbula, Mgonya and Sape, one of them feeding the other's baby, you know, and those babies, every second of their lives in contact with another body. And the fact that when they got ill, everyone carried the illness. Yet we've arrived at the point where we have actually managed to convince ourselves that mind is the relevant bit and that we can use these virtual pathways and instruments to continue to share our dreams and convey deep meaning, you know, to develop synchrony, to create relationship. And you hear that kind of rhetoric coming a lot out of Silicon Valley these days. You know, it's all about connection. So my question really is, why are we all so lonely? And watching The Social Dilemma, this documentary on Netflix at the moment with my teenager, recently I was really struck by someone saying, we're all lab rats now. He said, we're all users. And what I thought is, okay, but they are also using, this is what's ingenious, they're using our ancient evolutionary need to touch against us. They're using it to create a dependency on this pacifier, this kind of virtual dummy that we get in place of real touch, real holding, real heat, real, you know, real embodied joy. And our bodies have adapted over hundreds of thousands of years to expect to be touched. And babies are still born with that impulse every day because nobody told them that we're all brain now. They're born expecting to be rocked and stroked and licked and groomed, and later on, as they progress through the life cycle, to be oiled and painted and danced. You know, so the old brain, the body's expectations are the same, but it's as if the tech comes and steps in with this virtual hug, which turns out, if you look at a teenager at the mercy of it, as I often do, to be the kiss of death, really. The virtual hug is not the real hug. It's not a salve for that emptiness in the air around us. That, you know, that absent collective body that our brains and skins develop through. And I think a lot about the fact that the Bengali aren't exceptional. You know, the Juntois aren't exceptional. We're exceptional. Technology is very clever and efficient and convenient. And I'm not denying it's a useful way to communicate. But what it is not is connection. It's not tenderness. It's not a hand on your shoulder. It's not arms around you when you feel desolate. It can't smell your hair. It can't pick up on your electricity or your pheromonal state. And if it ever does achieve that level of sophistication, it will probably be in order to manipulate you in some way, because it has arisen directly out of that military industrial capitalist complex.